What is up, everybody? Welcome to Party on Broad. Happy Friday to everybody. Today, I thought it would be a really fun time to overreact. We've had 3 games of the Sixers Summer League. We've done post-game shows on every single one of them. Guys, thank everyone who's watched any of them. And I thought today would be fun before the Las Vegas Summer League begins against the Sixers versus Pistons tomorrow night. Let's talk about my top 3 takeaways and takes and winners. And overreact to everything we have learned about this Sixers Summer League squad. Guys, if you're watching live, please be sure to comment. Please be sure to let us know your thoughts on these Summer Sixers. So let's jump right into this thing. Number one for me, Jared McCain is much better than we think, especially when it comes to his playmaking. That's what I'm talking about here. I think as Sixers fans, it feels nice to have a player that can not only shoot confidently from the perimeter, but dribble past someone. The Sixers are finally not pigeonholing themselves to these one-skill, one-dimensional guys anymore. Throughout the draft process, a lot of the comps were around for Jared McCain, those Seth kind of Curry comps. After 3 Summer League games, I think it's safe to say that Jared McCain has a far superior floor, far superior feel for the game, and a much better dribble drive game than we ever saw from Seth Curry. The threes are the main course. That perimeter, that floor spacing for Jared McCain is obviously the main course there. But I thought it was his handle and upside in the pick and roll that really got my gears turning. First up, I really love kind of that change of pace dribble that we saw from McCain when given the opportunity to be more on ball. He's not an elite athlete by any stretch of the imagination, but he's smooth, kind of like Kyle Lowry, kind of like Andre Miller, and his on-ball game is super controlled. And, to be honest, his finishing at the rim was a combination of hit and miss throughout those 3 games, but the good news for McCain, I thought he was extremely efficient at Duke. He shot 62.8% from the field at the rim, 1.26 points per possession at the rim for Duke. And that was actually a mark that was better than Rob Dillingham and Reed Shepherd, 2 guys that were highly regarded in the draft. And through 3 Summer League games, he has 7 assists to 6 turnovers. But I truly don't think those numbers tell the entire story of what we saw during those games. I can't wait to see Jared McCain be more of a true on-ball guy during the Las Vegas Summer League. I don't think Jeff Doughton will be joining those squads. So I expect a lot more, sample size in Vegas. Concern-wise, there are a few. Obviously, you start with the shots not falling. He shot 29.4% from the field, 18.8% from 3. The legs were clearly tired in that game 3. Pretty much every single shot hit the front of the rim over and over and over again. And second up is the defense. I thought he competed defensively. I love seeing the hustle. I think he's got a natural feel for knowing where to be, intercepting passes as we saw. But, I was happy to see that this guy's not afraid to get on the court, dive after loose balls. Ultimately, I'm very, very satisfied with what I saw from Jared McCain. I want to just show some quick highlights of my favorite plays from Jared McCain over the first 3 games. Smitty's Sports Car says, think he gets minutes. I think his minutes will get ramped up. Obviously, the Sixers just announced that Kyle Lowry will be back on the roster, and I think that's a good move. They clearly need a ball handler behind Tyrese Maxey. I think you'll see more Lowry first at the start of the season. I wouldn't expect big minutes from Jared McCain, but I do expect those minutes to get ramped up. I definitely think he's just got great feel for the game and great confidence. And we'll see I wouldn't expect any more than like 5 or 10 minutes from Jared McCain, at least. And that's good news, right? The Sixers are in a win now mode. And, the fact that you're not heavily reliant on these guys, the summer Sixers, to get big minutes, that's a positive. So here's some quick moments from the Summer League that really stood out to me. First up is the playmaking. Is Jared McCain Having a feel for the pick and roll. He was 96th percentile in the pick and roll at Duke. Very small sample size. Here's some plays at Duke that I just threw in there. Here's another one with Bona where he can pull up from mid-range. I really like this upside, and I'm hoping we'll have more takes after the Las Vegas Summer League to kind of know what we got there. But the Sixers were not hesitant in putting the ball in his hands. I think he clearly has potential as a guard, as a point guard, not necessarily a floor general, but I think he's got real upside as a guy that can be a secondary ball handler in a modern NBA. Next up is, without a doubt, the second biggest takeaway here is this guy is a straight up dog. Adem Bona and his defense. It's time to talk about a guy that I talked a little down on. I called out Maury during my draft review that I was kind of ticked off on passing on guys like Kevin McCullough and Melvin Ajinka and Cam Spencer, guys I covered on this channel. I think Bona was easily the most impressive rookie through 3 games. The main sell on Bona coming in, it was his ability to be an NBA-ready defender, dominate the pick and roll, and man, he did not disappoint. He had a 9.1 block percentage from college last year. UCLA had a defensive rating of 93.4 with Bona on the court. Off the court, UCLA had a defensive rating of 107. That translated for the Sixers from the jump. He was tied for the second most blocks in the Salt Lake City Summer League. And I, just like McCain and his surface numbers, I don't think it is truly indicative of just how good Bona was defensively this week. He's clearly got plus footwork. He's clearly got a solid base to develop into a plus defender in the paint and on the perimeter going forward. Still has plenty of fundamental things to clean up defensively and offensively. You love the athletic tools. You love the motor, all super impressive. And I think that's going to allow him to be an incredible disruptor for Delaware this season. That being said, I think he relies on them a little too often. I think he needs further seasoning in terms of improving his processing speed, improving his situational awareness and fundamentals. His touch around the basket can definitely improve. And we saw him get charged with multiple 3 seconds on defense. And he was at times a tad bit slow in his defensive rotations, which is understood given the amount of zone the Sixers ran this summer league. Overall, I think it's pretty clear his processing speed on both ends is inconsistent, which is as expected. And offensively, his contributions are pretty minimal beyond just simply rolling to the basket. However, I think when you look at the athletic tools, when you look at the motor, when you look at the defensive prowess, teams were afraid to get into the paint with him in the middle. And that speaks to this guy's potential with the Blue Coats this year. I think all signs point to Bona really developing into one hell of a complementary piece in the very near future. Let's look at some of my favorite plays so far through 3 games. And it's almost all defense. Weak side, help defense. This guy can really do a lot of fun things. Here's him kind of, patrolling the paint there. And this is what he's going to do. This is what he's going to do for the Blue Coats this year. This was my favorite play without a doubt when Bona kind of intercepted the pass, ran down the court, and scored on the other end. Shades of Charles Barkley a little bit there, 6'8", 250 pounds. But the athleticism is what you love out of this guy. Worlds of potential. I don't know. He's not going to get a lot of minutes with Andre Drummond, which was a huge signing for the Sixers. But for me, all good, man. All good with Adem Bona. Let's roll on to my final takeaway of the Sixers Summer League so far. Number 3, it's got to be Keve Aluma. This guy has been the biggest surprise of the Sixers Summer League. In fact, if I was running the Sixers, I would take away David Jones' 2-way contract and give it to this guy as soon as possible. Aluma came into the Summer League with an inconsistent jumper, but with upside to be a potential stretch 4. And through 3 games, man, he's just been an overwhelming success story. He shot 14 of 20 from the field, including 3 of 7 from 3. Clearly a guy that can give you solid team defense, not be a liability on switches. He showed off a solid ability to attack the glass in terms of rebounding. You look at the athleticism, you look at that element of it. I thought he was way better than I anticipated. He does project to be kind of that reserve big that can stretch the floor and not be a non-negative player. He's only 25 years old. He spent the last 2 seasons playing in Asia after playing 4 college seasons, 6'9", definitely undersized as a center, but he makes up for it by kind of having a great feel for the game. He seems to always be in the right position at the right time. You like how he's active offensively and defensively, and he's not afraid to put the ball on the deck. I thought this guy is clearly a 4 due to that jump shot, and I'm excited to see how he develops. I would love to see him spend more time with the Blue Coats going forward. Let's look at some of my favorite plays, and here is Aluma in the pick and roll there. Being a threat as a floor spacer, love that. Here's some defense, transition defense, which the Sixers could use. Here's more Keve Aluma spacing the floor. And then finally, I think there's one more after this, but more floors of his shots. And this is that athleticism to be able to kind of drive through multiple defenders. This guy should be on the Sixers big time. If there's anything we learned from the Philadelphia 76ers Summer League so far, Keve Aluma is a guy to watch out for. So that wraps it up. Guys, thank you everyone for watching. We will be back Saturday night. That's tomorrow if you're watching this on Friday for Sixers versus Pistons post game. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll also be doing a party on Broad on Sunday night, talking the top 10 targets for the Eagles on the defensive line in the 2025 NFL Draft. So nothing but player development here at Party on Broad. Thank you everyone for watching. My man Ryan Reese, what's up, dude? We will see you tomorrow night for Sixers post game. Stay awesome, everyone.